30 different charges.
30 different charges. Let that sink in. And the judge? He's not just frustrated, he's done. This moment sets the tone, no more games, no more slaps on the wrist. Do you think the judge is being too harsh, or is this exactly what's needed to break the cycle?
And I told you the last time, Mr. Derville, that if you had ever pick up another case, that I will set your case for trial and we will do DDRP, the Dual Diagnosis Residential Program. I will not continue to play this game where you pick up theft cases, plead guilty to time served, get out, and next week you pick up another case. I'm done with it. I'm not going to do it. What do you want to do now? What do you want to do now?
What I gotta do?
Sorry?
What I have to do again.
What you got to do?
Again, take probation again.
You said take probation, Judge.
How long have I been in that place? What about a?
No,
6 months.
no,
Just 6 months.
no.
They go to probation?
You will be in the facility 6 to 9 months, depending on how well you respond to treatment. I'm done with you taking time serves and continuing to pick up cases, continuing to go to the same places where you continue to trespass and steal. That's it.
Right.
We've got now 30 charges of the same thing over and over and over.
That's bad, sir. No, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to do? Think about it. What am I doing?
What you wanna do? I guess you. I gotta deal with it again. All I got is trespass. That's it. No trespass. Golly,
How many trespasses you got, Mr. Derville?
man. I don't know. I don't think, sure, I don't know, about 2, 3. They way old though. They super old. It ain't in your courtroom. I never been in your courtroom. For no trespass. On the steps. You thought it was a theft. You thought it was a theft, but it's a trespass this time.
Okay, so now, May, you picked up a trespass. February of this year, theft. August, theft. August, another theft. August, another theft.
Yeah, that's what I know.
April, theft. January, evading arrest. January, evading arrest. I'm sorry, evading arrest, January, theft. November, theft. October, criminal trespass.
Wait, the rest.
September, criminal trespass. September, criminal trespass. July, criminal trespass.
No, yeah.
May, theft. May, theft. April, theft. March, theft. December, theft. November, trespass. And it goes on, and it goes on as the day is long.
This list of offenses just keeps going, and the judge reads it like a rap sheet scroll from a crime movie. But behind every charge is a missed opportunity, a system stretched thin, and a man who just can't stay out of trouble. Have you ever seen a case this repetitive?
Like your courtroom. I never caught a trespass.
They're all here, Mr. Derville. And I'm telling you,
With another judge then. I never got trespass in the courtroom. All them there. I remember that.
is this Saturday? Can you just get up and leave?
No, it's the one where they say
Okay.
it's a resident.
This is a facility that I want you to participate in so we can end this cycle of you picking up these cases over and over and over. And Mr. Derville, look at me. I'm telling you, from now on, every case, we will do this from now on until you get it. Do you understand, sir? We have to end this cycle one way or the other. And I hope that I'm doing so that this ends once and for all.
Put me in, sit there, that don't make no difference. Cause I might just mess up any other way. You got me on probation, anything might happen. Shit, man. You already know that anything.
And we will continue to do this until you actually get it.
I'm trying to make sure I come here courtroom. That's a fact. But that ain't cool.
There's only one way. Stop picking up trespass cases. Stop picking up theft cases. You do that, you'll never see me again. I know I'm not pretty. That's all I'm asking, man.
You got to get probation on trespass and go.
Really? I'm not being cool? Really?
Yo, just
I'm not being
A
cool.
year probation, and then I gotta go to a rehab. I go turn myself into a rehab anyway. But you want me to stay
Hey,
in 6
put it
months?
this way, I'm paying it for you. You don't have to shed out a dime. But Mr. Dedeville,
You gotta pay, you get it free.
we will continue to do this from now on. Every case you pick up, look at me, think, because every time you get the itch to do the trespass or theft case, when you see me, because I have jurisdiction for you for 5 years, I will see you. We will do the same thing.
I'll take a try.
I am so happy. Good. I'm glad that you don't think I'm cool.
I should take a try now.
Hey, you know what? I'm okay with that.
I should take.
Now, you have this criminal trespass. As part of this, you will do SATIC, which is the inpatient treatment facility. You understand? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront, cross-examine accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this, you can never change this. You understand? Do you want to take this offer?
They help you get your ID and stuff like that? Yeah. It's so good to too.
I don't know about social security, but there are like counselors and like recovery coaches there that help you with all this.
What do you think?
I'm a rock and hard spot, so I'm gonna do that, man.
Easy. And it's going to be this difficult every single time from now on.
Right now.
So you want to do this?
I gotta do, what else you want me to do? Shoot. What else you want me to do? I can't do nothing
I
else.
want you to be happy, Mr. Dedeville.
I'm getting over the trespassing. It's cool, I'm getting fun.
Wonderful. I'm happy that you're not happy.
And use the place, I trespass. That's crazy.
I know, it's
That's
crazy,
killing
isn't
me
it?
fun, man. For real.
It's crazy.
That ain't cool, man. Gotta get probation, then go to rehab. I gotta go to rehab
So
myself.
look, we have a lot of business. You want to do this? Yes or no?
I gotta do, what else you want me to do?
Okay. How do you plead to the offense, sir? I will find you guilty. I'm going to wish you the best of luck inside. Please listen. Please take it to heart, Mr. Dedeville.
This is the heart of it. The judge isn't after punishment, he's after change. He's practically begging the defendant not to come back. But here's the hard truth: if nothing changes, they'll both keep playing this same painful game. Would you take the offer and break the cycle, or roll the dice in court?
All I want you to do is not come back. If you come back to me, we're going to do the same thing over and over. So get ready. I will play this game with you until we both lose hair. Good luck, my friend.
Judge, we're gonna waive all his fees.
And waive everything. He doesn't have to pay a dime. Ma'am, you are charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
On September 26, 2024, at approximately 1:15 p.m., an officer responded to a call at the TSU Library Center located at 3100 Claiborne Street in Harris County, Texas, regarding a disturbance. The officer made contact with the individual causing the disturbance, and the defendant approached asking officers what's going on and what did she do. The officers repeatedly asked the defendant to step back, and she became belligerent, asserting that they were at her store. She eventually complied and moved away, but she insisted that a police supervisor be called to the scene. TSU Sergeant Barnett arrived and spoke privately with the defendant. Afterwards, responding officer requested the defendant's information to report her behavior to her supervisor in the university. The defendant refused to provide it and attempted to bypass the officer. When the officer asked her to identify herself again, the defendant declined and attempted to walk away. As the officer tried to detain her, she began to throw herself on the ground and yell, escalating the disturbance. Several officers issued verbal commands for her to comply. The defendant continued to resist, jumping around and asserting her rights. The officer attempted to escort her outside. The defendant then wrapped her arms and legs around a pole, continuing to yell. The officers physically pried her from the pole and detained her. The defendant used her body weight to resist and push against the officers. The defendant was then placed in the back of the patrol car without incident.
What was she doing wrong?
So it appears she wasn't the initial person causing the disturbance, but when they came to respond to the disturbance that they were called for, she intervened. And once they asked her to remove herself from the situation, she refused.
You didn't say, when you initially started saying about everything, you didn't say that she was the initial cause of the disturbance, that there was a call for a disturbance. They get out there and she, I guess,
So what it says is that they made contact with the individual that was causing the disturbance, and then the defendant approached asking
see,
the
right.
officers.
So she just comes up, starts being nosy, right?
Right.
And then she basically, I guess, is trying to leave. And then they start asking her for her information.
Well, they were asking her to leave the scene so that they can respond to the disturbance, and she wouldn't comply. I think that's the issue, that she wouldn't leave when
Did
they
you,
asked her.
you say that?
Yes. They asked her to move away from the scene and she refused to comply.
Show me, will you read that part again?
So when she approached the officers repeatedly asked the defendant to step back, and the defendant became belligerent, asserting that they were at her store. She eventually complied and moved away, but
So she complies, she moves away,
right. But then she came back.
okay?
And so at that point, when she returned, they asked her to identify herself. She refused to provide her identification. And then at that point, when they asked her to identify herself, she attempted to bypass the officers.
She leaves, she's trying to leave.
She is attempting to,
She's leaving.
attempting to leave again.
And then they start bucking up to her.
Sure, yeah.
Judge, what is this case?
It's on for tomorrow's docket. Let me give you the cause number. 251-1137.
Sounds like interference, so we'll look at it.
That's what she's charged with. But, so, sounds like she's got a case of the nosies, you know? She goes up there allegedly being nosy, she leaves, comes back, and then they start asking for her information. And she declines to give her information.
So Judge, what I'm looking at here, just to add context to the situation, she approaches in an unrelated incident, it looks like.
Correct.
She's asking what's going on. Fine. They talk to her individually. Okay. They tell her to leave. She continually asks what's going on. What did she do? She asserts, she becomes belligerent, is what the officer says, asserting that they were at her store, obstructing their investigation. Eventually, I don't know what the time frame is, but they say eventually she complies, moves away, but insisted that they need to call a supervisor to the area. A sergeant then spoke with her privately. After they responded and they requested her information to report her behavior to her supervisor at the university, and to identify her, which she refused to do. She then attempts to bypass officers. They ask her for identification again. They're detaining her. She says no.
But what's the interference? What did she specifically do?
Well,
She's just talking to them.
I understand,
Right?
Judge, she's talking to them, but she's saying that they're at her store. She's belligerent,
So?
telling them to leave. They're at her store. The position of the state judge is that did obstruct their investigation. I mean, it's not in this, there's multiple senses of obstruction in our opinion. It's not.
Are you losing right now? Okay. Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it. All right, I'll find no probable cause.
I'll dismiss the case, Judge.
When you go up and you get into a pissing match with officers, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Every single time. If you go up and you mess with someone who has the power of arrest, you're going to lose every single time. Don't go. It's not hard. I found no probable cause in your case, ma'am. Just be careful. Okay?
May I ask a question?
Sure.
If I want to press charges, or
Don't. You know what? Let sleeping dogs lie. Don't.
they assaulted me, though. They knocked out my tooth, they chipped my tooth, I got bruises on me.
And you can always go file a complaint with internal affairs,
That's what I'm asking.
whatever
how could I do that? I don't know the protocols.
So what agency was this? Is this, did you say it was at a college or?
Yes.
Okay. So you go to the Texas Southern University Police, you go to Internal Affairs, and you can file a complaint that way. Okay, I would take everything that you have, and that's how you do that. Okay, but just be careful.
And I can't even go back to my job because they're trying to ban me.
I don't know. I mean, did they issue some kind of trespass warning?
No, sir.
If there's a trespass warning, be careful. I don't see that one has been filed. They haven't told me about any kind of trespass or anything, so just be careful, okay? But I found no probable cause. They're going to dismiss your case, okay? Just be careful in the future, all right, man? Okay, please. Good luck, okay, Ms. Wimbush?